No, but can you pop?
pushing.
Okay, now stop for a moment.
Uh-huh.
Now can you pop, pop, pop? Does it do anything? Okay, yeah. So then, no, you're fine. You're safe.
Yeah.
There's science.
Thanks, Beekman.
All right, well, we got another full brother cast
Yeah.
with my brother Adam.
Is it Full Brother Cast or is it Random Chats with Adam? Or is it board game layout? Or is it what is it?
Bordacious.
Bordacious. Or what is it?
Or is it Gold Buddy Cast?
Or is it Adam Kenney's Happy Little Trees?
Or is it
Adam's new venture?
Which is your new vehicle?
Should I drink this?
How much to drink this?
Yeah.
So
So what is it? Is it at Random Chats with Adam? Because we're not doing like a top 10 list or anything. I think.
no, this is like I think Random Chats with Adam has kind of merged into Full Brother Cast.
Okay.
If you're cool with that, I'm
Yeah,
cool with that.
absolutely.
I'm doing a no beer pod right now.
That's good. Have you watched Queen's Gambit?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Did that influence you?
No.
Oh.
I had a listener say, "Hey, you're always drinking,"
Uh-oh.
and I'm like,
Was it Mom?
"Mom doesn't listen."
Oh.
I said, "What are you talking about?" And they're like, "Well, you just seem like you're." I'm like, "Yeah, well, I record about like 2 to 3 episodes a night when I have people come over." And yes, I am, and then I'm releasing those 5, 4. So now they're thinking that I'm just every day. So I'm not. By the way, right now, magically, as you're listening to this isn't live, and I'm not currently drinking right now as you're listening.
He's just got a glass of water.
Glass of water.
Tim Noah was hammered when we did.
No,
he wasn't.
No ill speaking to Tim Noah.
No, because he was a saint.
But he did call me while I was hammered.
Were you actually hammered?
It was a Saturday night and the mood was right. No, it was a Friday night and the mood was right. I was going to have some fun.
Which makes more sense.
I was going to have some fun. Show you how it's done. TGIF.
I got the reference. The very first thing you said. You didn't have to even complete it. I knew what you were talking
I
about.
think it was like a Wednesday night. I was out at a friend's house. We were having, pardon me, we were having some drinks and a cigar. It was around a campfire. Nice and mellow night. No real responsibilities. And then Tim Noah calls at like 9:15. Nice as can be. Hey, he was able to play. He gave me the A-OK to listen to like you can air it now. But it sobered me up because it was like almost like, like your parent or someone, like an officer, I don't know, coming up to you and it's like, hey. And you're like, oh, hi, mister. Yeah, absolutely. I'll do whatever thank you very much for getting back to me on that. I was composing myself really well. But I almost feel like it's that, what was the short, the Saturday Night Live short where they were, what they would do the shorts, like with Andy Samberg.
Yeah.
And they did the one where this is going to be a really good day.
Oh, yes. Uh-huh.
And then there's a point where he thinks, we're in the Matrix. And he's just like, and he thinks he's so cool and doing cool moves. And then
you see him.
You see Bill Hader and they look over there and go, what's wrong with him? And he's just like in the middle of like the street, just like on drugs. That's probably how I sounded when I was talking to Tim Noah.
Internally, you felt like you were speaking fluently.
Yeah. Like I am now.
Yeah, you're doing a good job. I was going to mention something about that. Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, okay, so you're saying that you're drinking, that somebody reached out to you and said, hey, man.
I'm drinking too much.
Drinking too much. But the fact is you do Brouhaha.
Yeah.
Which
sponsored by Coal Street.
Which is a Coal Street Brewery thing, which is you're always going to be like showing off at least one beer during that.
Exactly.
And then you have your live shows at either
Brouhaha or Coal Street
Brewery or the
Bordeaux Wine Bar,
which is also
the same thing.
You're going to be drinking something there.
Then I got Joseph Hollenbeck that shows up and just wants to drink while we talk.
He's got his what is it called? A double bock with Hollenbeck?
A double bock with I think it's Oh, you were listening to that.
Double bock?
Oh, you're listening to the Brouhaha.
I was. And then is that what it's called? I think I said it wrong.
It is a Munich. I'm looking at it right now, but not really. It's a Bock right there. Yeah, there it is. Right in the Doppelbock.
Doppelbock.
Yeah,
Doppelbock with Hasselhoff. with Hollenbach. Okay, so yeah, with Hollenbach,
Hollenbeck Doppelback.
Hollenbach.
So I was trying.
And then you also have the Garage Night,
Garage
which
Night.
is
And I'm gaining some lbs because not really. I'm actually slimming down, believe it or not.
What do you weigh?
No, it's just I wear a tighter shirt. No, I weigh not as much.
You don't have to say how much you weigh, but
less than I should.
Less than what you were weighing.
I weigh less than I should.
I don't know what that means, and I don't think that's true.
Jamie's like, you're getting a physical this year. I was actually talking to Aaron Center, our cousin.
I know him.
Playing our video games.
He's our cousin.
And my wife goes, hey, you're 40. You got to get a physical this year. I'm like, listen, I haven't.
Yeah. Are you getting to the?
No, it's 50 years old. You get plugged.
Oh, okay.
But I was like, hey, I've not gone to a doctor in 10 years, and I haven't gone to the dentist in about 10 years as well.
I haven't either. When was the last time I went to the dentist? It's kind of gross, actually, because it's been a long time.
Yeah.
And I know I've chipped 2 teeth in that time period.
Well, that's because your teeth are falling out because you don't go to the dentist.
Well, that doesn't count the teeth that have fallen out. I've chipped 2 teeth and I've lost 4. No, but and it worries me because it's like, are there things that are happening with those chips? I don't know, but I have been flossing. I floss.
No, I floss like once a month.
Oh, really? Yeah, I floss every night. It's actually really improved my health.
Do you floss in the morning?
No, I floss at night. I brush in the morning, brush in the evening, floss in the evening.
I like it. You're evolving. Was that a Gold Buddy cast thing that you did there for flossing, or was it pre Gold Buddy?
Pre Gold Buddy. That was like 2 years ago. I started doing the flossing.
Just toughening those gums up.
Mm-hmm. Takes like 5 days, and your gums are ready for it. I haven't had a bleeding gum in forever.
Mine, I love the bleeding gums.
That's gross.
Where
Is that the
from?
band? Or
The
they're
band.
from? Oh yeah.
The Simpsons. Lisa.
Bleeding Gums Murphy.
Yeah. Anyway, that's okay. Cool.
Yeah, there you go.
Everyone, thanks for listening.
Hey, no, I was going to ask you a question. We didn't really have any talking points, but you do have your.
I've got some stories. I was telling Aaron. So Aaron goes,
Yeah.
"Wow, have you heard of preventative maintenance?" And I'm like, "Have you seen me?"
In terms of your body.
Yeah. No, I'm not worried about it.
That's clear. That's clear.
In terms of anything.
He's like, have you ever heard of preventive maintenance? You said, have you seen me? Of course I haven't.
No. I don't care about that.
But there was a time a year ago, maybe even less than a year ago, maybe like 5 months ago, when you were going to start working out. You started working out.
Pushing up.
Pushing up, what does that mean?
Let's get real for a moment. You guys want to get real?
I want to get real. Yeah.
You want to get really real?
Really real.
I stopped working out because it was
hard.
No, it was affecting certain parts of my body.
We don't need to get too real.
Yeah, just not good.
What?
Yeah. No, not doing those parts of my body. It was just the ankles were hurting too much. What were you thinking?
I don't know what you're talking about.
The ankles were clicking too much, man.
The ankles were clicking?
Yeah, because they hurt. It's too much weight.
I was just doing all these curls.
No, I mean,
my ankles were clicking. What were you doing?
Well, working out for me was just doing squats, like 5 a day.
You gotta start somewhere, I guess.
Yeah, it's better to do something than nothing.
At what point do you get really real? Because
that was it. The ankles.
Your ankles were clicking because you did 5 squats a day.
No, I had some other issues, but it wasn't anything that you guys were going with. For me, it was like I had some internal issues. I just couldn't forgive myself for just going too hard.
What are you talking about?
That was it was mental. It was physical, mental.
Oh, internal in your brain.
Yeah. Couldn't. I was like beating myself up, and I'm like, listen.
Oh, okay.
I was like, listen, I get beat up at work. I get beat up by my family. I get beat up in social media. What am I doing this for?
We got so much to talk about with Gold Buddy Cast. We're not going to dive right into it.
We're not doing Gold Buddy Cast right now.
No, we're going to do it tonight, though. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But like later.
But I've been doing push-ups though. That's one of my goals for Gold Buddy Cast because I was told. We'll allude to that. Yeah. Okay, so you're going to talk about that later. In this month, this past
Didn't
month.
You already talk about that in the last episode?
No.
Are you sure?
No, I told you guys that. I texted you guys that.
Okay. I'm looking forward to talking about that because to me, that's like, I don't know. That's like, hey, if you can do this, you're on easy street. But it's like, is that?
Oh wow, way to judge already. That is not
no.
It's internal already for me, and now you're just gonna
listen. But what I'm saying is like, is that this? Is it the chicken before the egg or the egg before the chicken? Is it the cart before the horse? Is it like, oh hey, I can do these?
The cart before the egg or the chicken before the horse?
I don't know, but we can talk about it. I'm excited for you. I think it's really cool,
dude. This Gold Buddy Cast thing, to plug this real quick. No, it's good. Eyes. People are staying kind of on it. I had to like prod some people today, send some messages like, hey, give me an update. Have you done that yet?
I don't have anybody in my life.
Okay. Well, maybe that should be your first number one goal. but anyway, I was looking back, and we could talk about this on the next episode, but like I've been just accomplishing a lot of like little mini goals for me, especially with the podcast. But I'm starting to get to that point, and this is where it's going to be deeply profound. You either like, I feel like I'm starting to realize how good I have it. Like, currently. I was always used to strive for the next thing. And then I started like reading our friend group text chains, and I started like looking at like my weekends and who I'm hanging out with and my relationship with my kids and my relationship, like going out with my relationship with my wife. And I started to see that maybe this whole thing, I've had full buddies all the time.
You were going somewhere with that? And then I saw this look in your eyes that you're like, I don't know how to complete this sentence, so I'm going to go into a joke.
No, but that was dead serious.
Yeah. Well, I think that's a good thing to realize. And we can maybe, we will table this discussion for that episode.
And we're going to shorten up Gold Buddy Cast.
Yeah, we'll shorten it up a little bit. Trim it down.
We got to trim it down just a little bit.
Yeah, well, that's cool. That's exciting. This is a question I wanted to ask you. Thought about it earlier today.
Yeah.
And maybe it'll tease the folks.
I love being teased.
Just a little tease, so that they know that, hey, we're going to talk about some profound things on Gold Buddy Cast. Here's a question. That was actually just a lip noise. Sorry.
Do you have a question?
Yeah, I do.
I feel like you're forming it and going, hey, I've been meaning to ask you this all day, but I actually am just thinking about it right now.
Here's the thing is what you were like, I like being teased.
Yeah.
So I'm just doing lots of dramatic pauses.
Why don't we get to that?
I'm thinking about how to...
Let's get to that question.
Just thinking about how to formulate this.
Let's go ahead and get there. Let's go ahead and ask. Say the sentence. Put a question at the end. Question mark.
What did you want to be when you grew up?
I wanted to be from ages 2 to 4.
Yeah, this is a good way of doing it. Go from different ages.
Yeah, 2 to 4, construction worker. Big guy.
Oh, really?
My invisible friend was big guy. He worked as a construction guy. It was the Wisdom Trucking Company, like the construction company that was down the street from us. They had all the big rigs, all the big tractors and earth movers. And I had a book from like the Golden Little Book Club that had one of the greatest construction like books that I can never find again. It's one of those things that you have that toy back in the day where you're like, I can't find this thing anywhere. And I can't find it online. And this is like, you should be able to at this point. You should be able to type something in and find it. I can't find it. I thought I found it one time, and I started realizing it was a fake. It wasn't the real thing. I actually went to Goodwill's and looked at all the golden little for years.
Are you sure it's a golden book and not something else?
I hope it is, because I'd been wasting a lot of time if it wasn't.
I was going to say. Because I think I remember the one you're talking about. I didn't remember it being a golden book or a little golden book or whatever.
I'm not sure either. I was 4.
Memory's not so good at that age.
But it was a construction book, and I liked it.
Okay, so you wanted to be a construction
worker. And then like 5 to like, I'd say 10, I was like cool with being like a football player, baseball player, like
just cool with
that. Yeah. I was probably just gonna settle. And then right around 11 or 12, that's when I just really started falling in love with basketball. Basketball's life. So then at that point, I was like, oh yeah, for sure, dude, I'll be playing in the NBA. And then I upped my game. I wasn't going to settle for football or baseball. No. I was going to up my game to the NBA because the NBA was just slamming at that time. No pun intended. And then I hit 15, 16, realized I was not going to make the NBA. So
it took you that long.
Yeah. So then I thought, hey, I'm not going to college because that's a waste of time, energy, and money. And then,
well, hold on. What made you think that, and why?
I had that moment of clarity. I remember just looking at everything around me. Felt like I was like 45, and I was like, you know what? I could probably get to where I want to go. It's going to be longer. I played the game of life, but I'm going to take the left-hand turn out of there, and then not the right hand, and get into debt. Paydays, I'm going to go hard, go ham. I don't really want to do math again. Like I don't want to go to I'm done with school. I just don't want to do a class. I don't want to look at and see all my friends stressing out. So I said, you know what? I'm not doing that. Then I did go to college, Bible college. So I went to Young Life during those years, and I thought, you know what I want to be? I want to be a speaker that travels around, goes to these camps, helps. I was a student leader at these camps. I was helping out as behind the scenes, going to these like little club meetings prior to doing a big event. I was helping these guys get set up, get ready for all these things. I could kind of see the behind the scenes. I'm like, oh, I like this. This is kind of fun. This is pretty cool. And then at that point, once I got that ball rolling, then it was just the butterfly effect. And the butterfly effect, a lot of people don't give that the Oscar-worthy nominations, the award-winning cinematography, as well as the wonderful script. And Ashton Kutcher said, he said it best. And I'm paraphrasing him in this movie. Butterfly
yes,
effect.
I know this quote well.
Okay. He said, and I quote, kind of.
Paraphrase. I know this paraphrase
well. He said, hey, sometimes you take that year off of college or that year off just to kind of find yourself. So you get a part-time job. And you're thinking to yourself, you're only going to do it for 1 year. And then that 1 year turns to 2 years. And that 2 years turns to 3 years. Yeah. And then the next thing you know, you're there 10 years to 20 years. And then at that point, I realized when I was like in my 5th year of something, watching this, I was like, "Oh, this is me."
Oh, the paraphrase ended at some point in there. Okay.
And then,
or is this still part of?
Yeah. So anyway, and then I got that. Now it's like, but here's the weird thing, Adam. Tapping into this brain. I still don't feel like I'm grown up. Like I still have goals. Like I'm not grown up. Like, what do you want to be when you're grown up? Like I would by now. I'm like, oh yeah, I should be grown up and have what I have. No, I'm still like reaching for the stars.
So talking about this, not exactly this, but I was talking with a guy who works in my building about. So his 30-year reunion's coming up.
Jeez,
I know. And okay. my 20 is next year. 20-year reunion.
Yeah, I forgot. Mine 20 got skipped because of COVID. But I'm cool with that. Keep going.
Yeah, I will. And so we're talking about this and talking about just the idea of time flying by and how we still feel like mentally young in a way. Like you feel like you're still kind of a kid or a teenager or in your early 20s or whatever. And I thought about this, and I think that part of that has to do with the fact that we can, even though we are 20 years past our teens or whatever, or 30 or however old you are, you can, because of your memory, you can put yourself
back in those,
right back in that spot,
right.
At least with certain memories, right? And you're like, oh man, that feels like yesterday, even though it was a long, long time ago.
Right.
It's like, gosh, time flies by so fast because it's just yesterday that I was doing this thing. It was just yesterday that I was doing that puppet show for my parents. And it's like, but it wasn't just yesterday. It feels like it was just yesterday because it's such a deep memory for you. Yeah. I keep doing this lip smack thing and I don't know why I'm doing it, but
that's because we're actually sponsored by Lip Smackers. We go to many lengths to smack you.
Yeah. Lip Smackers. Batteries not included. Yeah. So I think that I thought I really had a profound point with that. And I think that saying that, other things that are profound, like Ashton Kutcher.
Very profound.
Is cool too.
So here's the thing. I wrote this. I was thinking about this, believe it or not. I pulled up my notes because Adam was talking about this. And so we're going to table something because I want you to remind me of what you said about your mind. Okay. It's all mind. It's all in your mind. It's all mental. But I'm going to read this first. Okay. So this is what I wrote. Can you imagine when this race is won? Turn our gold in the faces into the sun. Praising our leaders, we're getting in tune. The music's played by the madman. Forever young. I want to be forever young. Do you really want to live forever? 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 Some are like water, some are like the heat. Some are a melody and some are the beat. Sooner or later, they'll all will be gone. Why don't they stay young? Anyway, it kind of goes on from there, but I wrote that 5th grade, thought about it when I was going through all this stuff, and it's just who I am. So.
Yeah. No, I saw that on your MySpace wall. Do you know the Bob Dylan Forever Young song? May God bless you and keep you. You know that one?
Is that
always? May your wishes all come true. May you always do for others and let others do for you. Forever young. It's really good.
Do you know the Rod Stewart Forever Young?
Forever young. That was terrible.
That was what I was singing. That was Forever Young by Rod Stewart.
Yeah.
Forever young.
I want to be forever young.
Forever.
Remember when we...
And ever.
Do you remember during Christmas when you said, hey, we're going to do a full buddy cast Christmas album?
We're the only ones that did it.
And you convinced me to sing a song with you?
It's got the most downloads, believe it or not.
That's because it was really good.
It was really good. I think people put on repeat. Hey, but I want to talk about your mentals.
I think it's because it was only like 3 minutes long.
That was also as well. People probably bailed on it. Probably got in 5 seconds, like, what are we listening to? So, but I feel like it was entertaining. We should do a music video for next year.
Okay.
Now, though.
Right now we'll do it?
Release it now.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And then share it again at Christmas.
It's Christmas.
Hey, thanks for taking a quick break here. I just want to mention my podcast sponsors, Cole Street Brewery, 1627 Cole Street, Mazatlan in Enumclaw, Washington, as well as Bordeaux Wine Bar as well in Enumclaw, Washington. If you mention the podcast or you wear your Full Buddy Cast shirt, any swag that you have for Full Buddy Cast, you get a 10% discount. We also have a Patreon page where you can search that. Go hit up the link. I have it on the page on Facebook or also on Instagram. Follow the page. I'm always posting pictures. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate the support. Thank you very much. Back to your regular scheduled programming. You said when you were working at the Sports Authority, which I feel like is a very pompous name for anything. Like if you went to a grocery store and someone said, "Oh, we're the Food Authority," like you're like, okay, but you know what? You're not the Food Authority.
Well, they might be.
The Sports Authority. No wonder they went out of friggin' business. No one wants to shop there. They want to shop at Dick's. They want to shop someplace where you feel like you know more than the person that owns it. Like you're like, oh, I play pickleball with Dick's all the time, and I can beat him every week. He's Dick's. Here, though, Sports Authority. Oh, I'm sports. I know way more about sports than you.
You wouldn't get it.
So when you worked at the Sports Authority,
when I was the Sports Authority,
in
footwear and apparel.
Yeah. So when you were there, I remember you telling me, saying, Travis, like it was as if this is not a jokey joke. This is a real. Okay. You came up. You actually did.
I'm glad you broke it down like that in those terms for me because I wasn't quite sure.
You came up to me and you go, "Hey, Travis, oh my gosh!"
I'm like, "This is not a jokey joke.
Like,
this is a really real."
No, that was me telling you this.
Oh, right.
Oh, yeah. So you're like, "Yeah, hey, I realized something today." And now, guys, let's just pause this for a moment in your mind. Okay, Adam, when did you get your first job? How old were you?
I was 18.
Where was it?
Fred Meyer.
And how long did you work there?
Actually, no, hold on. I'm trying to think back. No. I was 18, I worked for the King County Journal. Or I worked as a salesman for the King County Journal.
Gosh, that's a shitty first job. I'm sorry we don't cuss on this here, but I'm so sorry.
That was terrible.
Okay, other than that.
Then I worked for Fred Meyer for like
2 weeks.
2 weeks, and then I got the job at Sports Authority.
And you were like 19
for 3.5 years.
You were 19 then. You were out of high school.
I was 19, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I started working when I was 15 and a half.
Yeah.
I was working in the coal mines.
Mm-hmm.
No, but I was working at Safeway, 15 and a half, working hard, getting my job done, getting it done, working after school at high school, 3:30, be over there, work. And so I already hit this mental zone in my life from at age 17.
Yeah.
And I almost wanted to pat you on the head and ruffle your hair a little bit and say, a boy, kid.
Thanks.
Yeah. But you said...
But you never did that. You held back.
No, but you said...
And I could really use that.
You said, Travis, I figured out something today. I'm my own worst enemy when it comes to I just don't want to be at work. I want to be home playing video games. I want to be off. I want to hang out with my friends. I just hate work.
Is this a paraphrase again, or is this a quote?
I know this is Ashton Kutcher as you. and he said as you, he said, dude, where's my car?
Yeah.
He said, no. He said, or you said, I realize it's just all mental. It's just all mental. I shouldn't it's me that's weighing me down. It's me being frustrated that I'm there. It's me no one else is frustrated in that store that they're there. For me, it's me. So if I am happy at my job, if I can just fake that I'm happy and think in my head, you know what, rather than it's going to take me 6 hours, that, you know what, I'm not here forever. I will be home at some point. And I was like, you know what, not a boy, kid. I ruffled your hair and I said, go get him.
I remember that actually, because I remember the very next day, my manager said, dang it, you took my joke. You bastard.
I thought you were being serious.
No, I set it up as seriously as I could. I was going to say that I put in my 2 weeks.
Back up off that thing a little bit.
Oh, okay. Who's the boss now?
You see that thing?
Angela.
You see that thing right there?
You see that thing? Travis is waving a gun at me. You back off that mic. You see that? Is that better? Is this better?
That's better.
All
right. So
I was going to say the next day I put in my 2 weeks.
Did you?
I was actually going to set up a story about how my manager was on my butt about something, and then I put in my 2 weeks. But I do remember, I don't remember saying that to you, but I do remember you bringing that up to me again. I am off of it right now.
No, you can talk now.
Okay.
Talk is what you want. I'm just going to pull it back. Okay, there you go.
I just remember I remember you telling me that maybe a couple of years later, you're like, sometimes your younger brother can be like an older brother and give you some wisdom. And I remember you telling me that, what you just told me.
Yeah, I actually told that to Corey Bentley on a garage night too.
Corey, so that had an effect on you.
Yeah, it did. It actually stuck with me I think it was the first time I ever ruffled anyone's hair and said, "Hey, attaboy, kid, go get him."
Yeah, that was pretty cool. So the story only stuck with you because you ruffled some of my hair.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I gave you an attaboy. No, seriously, it did stick with me because I was thinking, "Oh, that's right, that's cool." I need to do that. I need to remind myself of that it's me. It's just my own mindset. But let me tell you something else there, kid.
Okay.
That works both ways. Okay? That works both ways. Because there's times where you can talk yourself into something to get through it. But then there's other times that you're trying to get through it. And no matter how much you talk yourself into it, you realize that I can only lie to myself for so long. I actually have to either A, make a change, or B, kill myself or something like that.
There's usually more options than just those two.
Yeah, but I just kind of either it's A or B for me.
I need a peanut butter and jelly sandwich today, or I'm gonna kill myself. I get you though. Like there is, I think so. A couple years ago, I was working where I currently work, but I was really frustrated. I was like, gosh, is this what I'm going to be doing for the rest of my life?
Yeah.
And I felt like I was in a rut. And oftentimes we can all feel like we're in different sorts of ruts. Yep. And so I felt like I was in a rut then. And I was like, oh, this is so freaking annoying. And I was so discontent. And then I don't know how I just maybe worked through it or something to the point where I was like, but this is where I'm at. And this is kind of like what you were talking about, being grateful for what you have. And I was just like, this is what I have. And I'm not going to help myself or help anybody by just being a whiny
dingus
about this. What I need to do is work this job and work it well, and then pursue my other things. So that's what I kind of tried to do. And, it can still be frustrating, but,
it can't be, but it's not it's not a showstopper.
No, but at the same time, it is a character builder,
Yeah.
and it's kind of like, this is something that is building my character in different ways. And I'm able to, kind of like what you were saying. It's like you maybe find some contentment or some drive or whatever to take it on and be like, okay, this is what I'm going to do. And I'm going to come at it with a better attitude. And then if you have that sort of like, but this is not working for me as well as my passion would work for me, then you pursue that too, and you're like, okay, I'll do well with what I have. And
you work it.
And then I work it well.
Work it well. In fact, and I remember you actually you did tell me this. This was about honestly going to say it's probably about 4 years ago.
Okay.
Because I think I was at a place where I was at, and you were like, "Hey, I can probably work it. I can work it.
Is it worth it? Let me work it."
Yeah.
And then flip something, reverse it.
Yeah.
You're
right.
Yeah.
That was it. You said it, and then I ruffled your hair,
and I said,
"Attaboy, kid, go get him." Hey, but that's true.
That's not true.
No, the working it though.
Yeah.
And the thing about show stopping is that, do you ever feel like everyone's thinking these things about your life? Not in a way where it's like they're like planning out your life, but they're just like, man, if Adam only did this, if Adam only did that.
It's not just that. Like, I know specific people who do that, and so there's different ways to approach that. So one thing is that
get defensive. Number one, get defensive.
Well,
no, fight him.
No, stop.
Yell him.
Stop it. One person in particular does this, and
friend of ours,
a friend of mine.
Oh, okay.
And
I guess I don't have
he has a bit of a. He would admit that he has kind of this tendency to do this to people. He kind of sees the potential in other people.
Drives them
and wants them to not just challenges them, but he wants them to be able to achieve their potential, right? Which is a noble thing, but it can kind of get to the point of being a little bit like,
ease up,
a little too involved. But he has said to me that, like, Adam, you have so much potential. You're like one of the most talented people I know in different ways.
Wait, he kind of sound like Doc Brown there.
What?
You sound like Doc Brown there,
Adam, we got to go back. And I'm like, hey, man, this is heavy, Doc. What? That was terrible.
You sound like the guy who would steal. No, you sound like the architect guy from Something About Mary. Where
name's Norm. I'm a pizza delivery guy. Yeah. Anyways, so yeah, totally. What do you got going on here?
I gotta mess with that there. Sorry, I'm listening.
Oh, that's okay. I just don't want to be talking over a bunch of noise.
Hey, man. All right, go ahead.
I don't know what I was saying, but basically, just the idea.
The guy was saying, "Hey, Adam."
Yeah, but he was just saying I have a lot of potential. So yes, like I can feel that from people sometimes, especially I've had people say like, "Oh man, you're a great artist" or whatever, and you are the best artist I know personally. And then I'm thinking, and then that's kind of an inspiring thing, but it's also kind of a
pressure
type thing. And also, like, I don't know, but at the end of the day, for me, it's a matter of working through it internally and working through it in prayer and just faith that something's going to happen of it. And in the past year, like this past winter, I taught a class at SPU. This upcoming fall, I'm teaching a class at SPU. And so things are starting to move in a direction that is a little more pleasing than my current situation.
So let me ask you this. I want to challenge you a little bit.
Okay.
Because I agree. There's people that have an idea for everybody, and they're like, oh, yeah, you should do this, you should do that. In fact, that's what probably, I know that Sean said, from Cole Street, he's like, man, if you're a business owner, you are going to hear people tell you, oh, I've got $1 million idea for you. Mm-hmm. I mean, and there are some good ideas. One of the things that I guess I needed was to kind of have someone. I did not want to create the Union Club discussion board. Mm-hmm. I did not at all. I thought that was dumb and stupid. I was like, yeah, what, 50 people? And I'll get made fun of. And it got to, I mean, we're at 4 billion people right now. No, we're at 1,300. It's annoying. It's dumb. It did get my podcast out there more. It did make me be out there more. And it kind of created me to kind of get used to the cold pool a little bit of the social media spectrum. Now, I was completely cool with being in the shallow pool with the water weenies and kicking around and beating people with them. You know what I'm saying? But, and if you don't know what I'm saying, then you know what I'm saying. But it's like, okay, now I'm a little more out there.
Those are called water noodles.
Water noodles. Well, no, I had my weenie out.
That's the visual I was having. beating people with my water weenie.
I wish Sarah was here to hear that because she'd be crying laughing right now. But what I was going to say with that is that it kind of takes some challenge. It takes someone to say, hey, you can do it. So we were talking about this. This is actually Joey and I got super deep on this last podcast that we recorded. So I don't know when this is going to get released. It's going to be a bit. Mm-hmm. Sorry right now. I got a backlog the size of New Jersey. I don't know what it's saying. But anyway, Joey said, hey, do you think that, or I think we're talking about, you're used to people, old school people coming through and just like calling you a piece of crap and like, you can't do it. And that should motivate you to go try and do it, right? You're like, oh, I'm going to show them. I'm going to beat them. I'm going to show them. But now there's other things where it's like, well, is that the right approach?
Right.
Or is it encouragement and someone just massaging your shoulders and saying, you know what? You can do it. You look like you can do it. You look good. This is what Deion Sanders says. And this is not paraphrased. This is a direct quote. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You look good. You feel good. You feel good. You play good. You play good. They pay good. So it's a mindset. So if you dress up and you're feeling good about yourself, then you're going to perform better. As you perform better, then you're going to also, get paid for that. So, there's wisdom there somewhere.
Yeah. Well, he is the sports authority.
I would listen to him. If he owned the sports authority, I would shop there daily.
What if he worked in the footwear department?
I'd say it's on your head.
Would you toss his hair?
Yeah, toss his hair. Yeah, and I'd say, attaboy, go get him. But yeah, no. So anyway,
that's good.
So do you respond better to someone massaging the old shoulders and saying, "Hey, buddy, you can do it," or do you work better with someone like saying, "Man, you ain't gonna do shit," and then like you're like, "No, I'm gonna show you." Who are you?
That's a good question. I think that sometimes it's a combination of the two, but I honestly think that I generally will probably accomplish more with encouragement rather than with naysayers.
So let me up this question a little bit more. You're at point A, and to get you to point B, which you need to get to, but you don't want to go to point B, but you need to get there. Mm-hmm. And you hate that you have to get there. Mm-hmm. And someone told you, hey, you got to get to point B, and you realize, crap, I don't want to go to point B, but I figure, yeah, you're right. Is it better to have someone Hofstranding you, barking at you, yelling at you, getting you going? It's not encouragement, but it's not like you can't do it.
It's like coaching.
It's like coaching, or do you need someone to be like, okay, buddy, run to me. I'll lift you up.
Well, so I think that what you're creating is like this dichotomy of like, it's either this or this. These are the two approaches. I could probably benefit from a little bit of both. And I think that, like, for instance, I'm reading that Atomic Habits book. A lot of that is like, here's examples of people who have done it. Here's ways in which you can do it. Here's this, lots of things of just like, it's just chock full of helpful tidbits to make the changes that you need to do or accomplish the goals you need to accomplish. And it's like served up in a very encouraging way. On the flip side, I'm also reading Dave Ramsey, Entre Leadership or something like that. And if you ever listen to Dave Ramsey, he's not afraid to call you stupid, right? And he's not afraid to or say that something. Maybe he doesn't call the person stupid, but he says that what you're doing is stupid.
Okay.
And you can wise up basically. And so that's also inspirational because it's like he's right because he's presenting you with the truth of the matter, which is like you're not doing what you need to be doing. But in all of that, I think there's the idea of doing something that I know I need to do versus something that somebody else thinks I need to do. If that makes sense. Sometimes somebody says, you need to be doing this. And it's like, how do you know?
Because I know everything and I wrestle. So let me ask you this then. Self-reflect and pure honesty.
So this isn't jokey joke. This is really real.
This is real.
Okay.
Have you ever done something that somebody has suggested that you have not thought about yourself?
Have I ever done something that somebody has suggested that I hadn't at first thought myself to do?
Yeah, let's say someone comes up and says, "Hey, Adam, you should do this," and you're like, "Fine, F it, I'll do it." Or has it always been what you wanted to do this entire time?
You know, that's a really tough question. Just because I'm really bad with remembering circumstances and things like that. I don't know.
And I'm going to use this as an example.
If you can remember yourself ever doing that to me,
no.
Okay.
Because I've never feel like anytime I've ever suggested something to you, I think
be careful.
Careful. I think you've already thought of it yourself and said no.
Mm-hmm.
You've already
bless you.
You've already seen somebody else try it and saw that it didn't work for them, so you just feel like it would be a waste of time for you to try it yourself.
Or I was intimidated by it.
Or you were intimidated by it and thought it was dumb. And for me, when Eric Madrid said, "Hey, you should go get sponsors," I'm like, "Nah, I don't want to get sponsors. I'm not cool enough. I shouldn't do." He's like, "Go get sponsors." He goes, "You drinking beer right now?" I'm like, "Yeah." He goes, "How much is that costing you per episode?" He said, "They may not pay you, but just go see if you can talk about their beer, and then you'll just promote them." And so that's kind of how the conversation got started with Cole Street.
Yeah.
And so I would have. I was already talking myself out of it. And it was only because it was almost like a dare, being back at school, being on the high dive, and having Eric say, "Do a cannonball, jump, 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 do it." And I didn't want to do it. And then once I did it, then I was like, "Dude, I'm going to hit up Andy Cardenas." Andy Cardenas. And I was like, "You know what? I'm going to hit up Kim Elias." Hit up Kim Elias, who's over at Bordeaux Wine Bar. And so then things kind of started moving, and I realized I could probably hit up everybody. But then reality struck, and I'm like, you know what? I can only handle probably 3 right now, and let's just see how that goes. Mm-hmm. So that was something that was a nice challenge for me to go do. The Patreon thing, I heard from you. I'm at 10, and I'm going to shout them out right now. Eric, Kellen, Seth, Adam, Cassie, Casey, Desi, Ira, Amanda, and Holly.
Wow, that's really good. He didn't read that off of anything.
I did not, and that you made it sound like that was sarcastic. I did.
No,
not.
he didn't.
I did. But yeah, no. So it's like sometimes it's the wild ideas. So then, frickin' Sean joins Full Buddy Cast, and I had about 80 people to when he probably joined Full Buddy Cast on my Facebook page. I didn't invite anyone. I didn't want to invite anyone. I was like, if people wanted to join, they would already join. Now, I didn't realize that people sometimes need an invite.
Yeah.
I just thought that they were just like throw themselves. That's how I am. I would just, if I want to join it, I'll join it. He joins, and then it kind of brings in a few people. I think I was up to like 120. And then he just says, F it. And he just like invited like all of his buds. And we're at 553 people on the Full Buddy Cast page.
Wow.
Which is pretty cool.
Yeah. That's awesome.
And so then it's those wild ideas that I think I've already talked myself out of.
Yeah.
So do you have anyone coming alongside of you and forcing things upon you that you might feel uncomfortable about? Or do you kind of shy away from that?
No, I mean, I do. I have like, so Michael, my boss, Michael Posey, he's usually challenging me with stuff like that, or he's coming up with ideas
Yeah.
for me. So like, and he's interesting because he's not like most people where he actually really struggles with procrastination in general. So he, for instance, they had a child last year, Parker.
He just finally met him.
Parker Posey is their
Parker
child's
Posey.
name.
Yeah, I like that.
And so Michael wrote a book, a children's book.
Shut up.
And he got some artist to illustrate it for him, some cheapo artist to illustrate it for him. And it's published. It's on Amazon. Parker, the penguin, goes on vacation. And part of, I mean, Michael wanted to do it so he could have a book that he wrote for his kid and would have some free books to hand out to people that he knew.
Yeah.
But part of it, he's kind of made clear that's like Adam, like you are an artist. If you want to do a children's book, or if you want to, and I think I may have mentioned to him that I've thought about doing that. So like, I don't know.
Let's do it.
Yeah, and I did when he had written his book. I wrote out some ideas and stuff, and I have
So
a
wait.
book mostly written.
Can I write the book and you illustrate it?
You could write a book, and I could illustrate it. I have
No, not your book. You know, I don't.
no, I know, yeah,
Yeah. And so if we did a full buddy one,
that'd be cool.
We gotta pick up all the buddies.
Ooh,
Do you think you could draw some of the buddies a little bit as like kids,
Probably.
looking like kids?
yeah, I think so. Yeah, did my voice get higher?
Absolutely.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
You know what?
About it. You know what? What time is it?
You know, I'm gonna rustle your hair and I'm gonna tell you, attaboy, go get them.
Currently, though, like part of my issue, and I think maybe you've run into this. I don't know. I mean, you probably have with this podcast. Is right now my job. Like I have what's essentially a full-time job. I mean, it's about 30 hours a week, but it pays the bills and such. And then I get home and I have art commissions that I'm working on. So I have 3 commissions right now. I've got another one in the works. Plus, I have my own sort of projects that I want to work on myself, to where it gets tough to like agree to do things. It gets really tough to agree to do things, and it also becomes tough to like feel like I can clock out. You know what I mean? It's like you get home from your actual job just to get into your project, and it's like I don't know. So, anyways, what I'm trying to do, and with Goal Buddy Cast, I'm actually motivated to do it better. I'm trying to organize my time better. I'm trying to organize my thoughts better. We'll talk about it on the next Goal Buddy Cast.
In fact, no, it's not going to be on the next one.
Why?
Because that's getting released tomorrow.
Oh,
That's why we're doing it, because it's the first Wednesday of every month.
I got you.
So go backwards.
I will have talked about this.
May 5th, Cinco de Mayo, and go, okay, I'm gonna work it. I'm gonna
worth it.
reverse it.
Okay.
Go back to May 5th and berserk it. Thank you everyone for listening. Appreciate you guys. Go check out the Patreon. Adam, where can we find you?
You can find me on adamkennyart.com.
AdamKennyArt.com. And then
And on Instagram, Adam Kenney Art.
Adam Kenney Art.
Also on Instagram at Board Game Layout is my board game thing.
Yeah.
You ever do something in like board games? That's a thing where it's like, that's something I never pictured I'd ever be doing.
Yeah.
Now I'm doing it.
Yeah. But you were always a big
I liked games.
big
I like
boy.
games.
You're always a big
I'm a
boy.
big boy.
Big boy.
Oh, hey, Travis just tousled my hair.
Attaboy. Go get him.